Yes! Yes! Yeah, baby! Mike McCarthy headed to the Dallas Cowboys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Welcome in the Ice of the Show. Welcome into Rover Sports. Woo! The New York Giants are now going to get Matt Rule, and he's the clear-cut guy. I'm not afraid of Mike McCarthy at all. He's a stale. He's pudgy. He reminds me of a vanilla donut. He's just a big, fat, pudgy guy. He looks like Freddie Kitchens, and I ain't afraid. First of all, the Cowboys didn't fire Jason Garrett mid-season. They didn't even let Richard have the keys to the car. Lincoln Riley would have scared the living daylights out of me. I mean, Lincoln Riley is an elite level head coach. He's an elite play caller. Urban Meyer is a champion. Mike McCarthy's defenses are terrible. In Green Bay, they had no free agent signings whatsoever. Aaron Rodgers was keeping that team afloat. If you remember a couple of years ago, Aaron Rodgers hit that throw to Jared Cook that allowed them to win that game in Dallas. And then you know what happened? You know what happened is that an LA Garola, I really appreciate the super chat. I do. He says that they won because of Favre and Aaron Rodgers. So the thing is, when Green Bay went to Atlanta to play in the NFC Championship game, Matt Ryan absolutely got the staff, or what's his name? Mike McCarthy absolutely got his ass handed to him by Dan Quinn in that NFC title game. Mike McCarthy was up 3 touchdowns against Seattle Seahawks. Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy choked away that NFC championship. Colin Kaepernick went into Green Bay and beat Mike McCarthy. The Giants and Tom Coughlin, 15-1 Green Bay team. When Green Bay was 15-1, they let Eli Manning and the Giants go in there. The Giants won that game by 2 touchdowns when they were a 15-1 team. So, point is about McCarthy is that his defenses have always been terrible. And Brett Favre was a special talent. I will give McCarthy credit for developing Rodgers and Favre. And Greg Jennings was a great player. Donald Driver, Amon Green, Ryan Grant. McCarthy is not a horrible coach, but he really doesn't scare me at all. He's just a big, pudgy guy. His play calling is listen, he doesn't really scare me at all. Jerry does need his puppets top streams, you're right. And for the Giants, like, McCarthy is a stale hire, and now the Giants have no choice, but because the Giants are thinking about signing McCarthy, and I didn't want that at all. I'm not afraid of McCarthy. I'm much more afraid of Doug Peterson. Lincoln Riley would have scared the living daylights out of me because Lincoln Riley is an innovative play caller. And that's what the Cowboys should have done. Lincoln Riley is from Lubbock, Texas. They should have paid him $11 million. Lincoln Riley would have been a sensational hire for the Cowboys. This hire of McCarthy, it's not the worst hire, but it's a pretty bland. It's going to end up failing overall because in Green Bay, that's still an incredible job. The Cowboys for McCarthy, I congratulate him. It is a great job. You're getting paid a lot of money. Dallas is a wonderful place to live. Your facilities and everything are unbelievable. Jerry Jones, I mean, if he hired me, I would consider, even though, like, I don't like the Cowboys really, I would consider that job. It's a flagship NFL franchise. It's a flagship sports franchise. But Lincoln Riley and Urban Meyer weren't even hired. The fact that Jason Garrett lasted till the end of the year and they didn't let Chris Richard take over that ship is absolutely mind-boggling to me. How they didn't let Chris Richard, how they didn't let Chris Richard, be the head guy. Brian Daboll, he's getting a head coach. I don't know why anybody would be willing to hire Brian Daboll. From a Buffalo Bills perspective, this is a guy that's almost wanted to get, he's on the verge of getting fired. And, Andy Singh, that's a funny comment. Mike McCarthy, I think he's a fine guy. Like, I think he's a good guy. I really do. I think he's a nice guy. Unlike Josh McDaniels, who I think is a bad guy. But Q-Dog, it's Matt Rule or bust, okay? I don't want Wink Martindale for the New York Football Giants. I don't. If the Browns end up hiring Salah or Brian Daboll, no way. He's not qualified to be a head coach. That would be a hilarious hire. He's the second coming of Freddie. He's Freddie 2.0. If the Browns hire Daboll, it would be beautiful. It would be beautiful. And then Ken Dorsey can run the offense, okay? I mean, the one thing about Daboll is that he's an all right offensive coordinator. And with Josh Allen, it is good if Daboll stays with Josh Allen. I will admit, he's a big, fat puppy dog. He really is. McCarthy and Daboll are big, fat puppy dogs. And the thing is, they're like big powder donuts. And the thing is about Brian Daboll, he's a personality fit for the Cleveland Browns. He's perfect for Cleveland. I think Urban Meyer would have taken this Cowboys job, absolutely. It's all Gucci, Q-Dog. This is great news for the Giants. I don't want Wink. You know what happened? Oh my God. If Jason Garrett comes to the Giants and brings his ensemble of parts, if he brings Kellen and Chris Richard with him to the New York Giants, I don't know what the hell that would be the dumbest thing ever if Gettleman and Garrett are running the show. But I don't want Wink Martindale. Freaking Wink Martindale was a linebackers coach for 2 years. I want Pat Shurmur to go to the Redskins as well. Just have Del Rio, Shurmur, and Riverboat Ron, all three of the most overrated offseason hires, and everyone will be like, the Redskins got a real qualified staff. The Washington Redskins with Del Rio, Shurmur, and Rivera, they're so qualified. Wow, this is a professional team now. I'm really impressed. And they're going to go 8-8. Jason Garrett, no way. Mara's smart enough. Jason Garrett is a 500 coach. His offenses are bad. His defenses, he has no life at all. No life in that team. No way. He's a conservative caller. He's terrible. He's 7-9, 8-8. Doesn't show up big time in the playoffs whatsoever. He hasn't had success in like 5 years. Jason Garrett is not coming to the New York Giants. If he's coming to the Giants, that's just it's the dumbest thing. I mean, that's so stupid. The Giants aren't getting McDaniels. They're not getting Jason Garrett, and they're not getting Wink Martindale. The Giants are not hiring a linebacker coach that's then going to bring in Joe Brady. If the Giants hire Wink Martindale, you know what happens? If the Giants hire Wink Martindale, I'll be so freaking pissed off. I won't burn stuff, but then he'll hire Joe Brady. The offense will be amazing, and then Joe Brady will ditch the Giants just like Matt LaFleur will. So it's Matt Rule. 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 Matt Rule is a former linebacker. His defenses, he takes guys that are two-star guys at Baylor and makes them into superstars. Matt Rule is a New York guy. He's from New York, okay? He's a Giants fan his entire life, and Matt Rule is a competitor, and Matt Rule has taken Baylor and terrible players at Temple and Baylor, and he's made them into champions. And it's exactly the head coach that the Giants need. He has the perfect demeanor for the job. His leadership skills are absolutely perfect. The Giants are not hiring Wink Martindale. They're not going to hire Josh McDaniels, who has an awful temper and was a terrible tempered guy. Okay? Q-Dog, very good. I like Matt Rule, and I'll tell you, Q-Dog, I want the guy Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma for the Giants at number 4. I think Kenneth Murray is going to shoot off draft boards. He's going to shoot up draft boards. Kenneth Murray is absolutely a perfect choice for the Giants out of Oklahoma. He's a superstar player. McDaniels, Sarah, amen. McDaniels is a horrible guy. He left the Colts high and dry. He has a terrible, what's his name? McDaniels has a terrible personality. He'll make Ben McAdoo seem like Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. I mean, he'll make McAdoo seem like Tom Hanks or anybody. But Kenneth Murray out of Oklahoma is a beast linebacker. Incredible linebacker that the Giants will need. He has great qualities like Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor. Murray seems like a Hall of Fame guy. He does. I mean, and he's gonna run a 4.4 at the combine. He's gonna be in the. I like him. Simmons and Murray are both good, but I think Murray is perfect. If Matt Rule comes to the Giants, I don't want to put that type of expectation of playoffs. They need to get to at least 7 or 8 wins. Of course, I want to make the playoffs and win a Super Bowl every single year, but I just need developing. Yeah, Bob and Niner by nature. Josh McDaniels wants that Bill Belichick role. I could see that. And then if the Giants wanted to hire Bill and Steve Belichick, that's also a good move. I think this move by the Cowboys, the Giants interviewing Mike McCarthy, I really think the Giants were considering McCarthy. He's not a horrible hire. He's not the worst hire in the world. I've had some Giants fans, a couple of good buddies of mine that are a little bit disappointed. McCarthy is an absolute professional. But he's definitely not a great coach. Can you guys update me on one thing, by the way? What happened to Tua Tagovailoa? Somebody update me, because I don't want him, Joel Rocks is here. I don't want Tua going to the Patriots, because then the Patriots will just have another dynasty. So tell me what Tua did. Okay. So, anyway, guys. I'm happy the Cowboys hired McCarthy. I don't want the Giants hiring Mike McCarthy at all. Okay, his press conference coming up very soon. It's a Matt Rule now. It's not Wink Martindale, linebacker coach. McDaniels is a prick. It's not going to be Joe Judge. It's not going to be Belichick. I'd rather have Richard than Wink. I mean, Wink Martindale, he basically's had Lamar Jackson, the greatest player in the NFL for this season. And he's had John Harbaugh there, and his defenses are just all right, okay? So Joe Judge, I don't know. Is that really official? They're probably going to be hiring some, what's it called? I don't think Mississippi State. I think Mississippi State's going to hire like Billy Napier or Bill Clark. I would be surprised if Joe Judge, and Joe Judge is from Philadelphia. They just hired a guy from the Northeast. Mississippi State's probably not doing that. But Cowboys fans are, McCarthy's going to go I'm not afraid at all of McCarthy. I think it's a bad hire as well. It's not a disaster, but it's bad. McCarthy, Doug Peterson scares me. Yes, just give Bill Belichick a piece of the team. Give him the franchise. Let him put Steve Belichick as his head coach. Let him move back to Jersey. And put it this way, Robert Kraft, he screwed Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick, if he had Jimmy Garoppolo right now, the dynasty would still be intact. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be on his way to a first Super Bowl title, and Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going to watch as Jimmy Garoppolo is going to hold up a Super Bowl ring this year. That's what's going to happen, guys. So Robert Kraft, he always has screwed with head coaches, okay? He screwed with Bill Parcells. The Patriots could have had Parcells. And Kraft is a sensational owner for keeping Parcells, but at the same time, he's greedy. He's greedy in a lot of respects. I think Lincoln Riley, the Giants aren't going to interview Riley, so it's going to be Matt. Jimmy G is not average. Jimmy G is a championship quarterback. Jimmy G is above average quarterback. And Jimmy G, when you need a touchdown, game is on the line. Jimmy G is like 19-4 lifetime. So, man, I think Jimmy Garoppolo's winning the title. I think that the Titans can beat the Ravens. I really do, because Derrick Henry's going to run the football. The Titans defense, like I think Rashaan Evans is a really good defender. So you spy Rashaan Evans on Lamar Jackson, and Mike Vrabel is going to come up with a scheme with Dean Pease. I think that this is wonderful news for Matt Rule and the Giants. And then Matt Rule is going to have the last impression on the Giants. So on Wednesday, it should happen. Wednesday this week, the Giants should hire Matt. I think that Wednesday, I think they should be in Mexico and they should offer Matt the job. I don't know if the interview is taking place in Mexico, but the Giants can drink tequila on the beach with Matt Rule. This is good news, guys, for the Giants. Thank you guys for watching the stream. Appreciate y'all. Wanted to keep it about 17, 16 minutes. Breaking news, Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones had a sleepover yesterday, and they were both eating marshmallows, which is kind of what McCarthy looks like, a big old marshmallow. They were roasting some s'mores, Hershey Kisses, and graham crackers outside of Jerry Jones's place. They were watching Netflix together. They were watching TV. It was a kind of Jim Harbaugh-like sleepover slumber party. It was a sleepover slumber party at the Joneses' place. Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that comment. This was a really tough loss for the Buffalo Bills, and Daboll and Josh Allen. And everybody's making fun of Josh Allen. The Bills got to hope that Tom Brady doesn't come back, because I want the Bills to win the NFC East next year. I don't know why you should hate on a guy for, being a porn star guy or having sex with porn stars. I think that's quite admirable to date porn stars, to have that type of mentality, to go out there and to want to date a porn star, to want to have sex with a porn star. I think that is admirable in every sense of the word, because that just shows that you're not going to be a conventional just, marry and settle down. It means Jimmy Garoppolo is basically a gamer. Kirk Cousins, what a game. I should make another video. I don't think Kirk is... I've always been a Kirk Cousins supporter, fan. I never said that Kirk was amazing by any means. But I think that Vikings fans and everybody, the people that said that getting Kirk Cousins was a mistake, I mean, they're not analyzing how overrated Mike Zimmer and this defense is. And Kevin Stefanski calls good plays. I don't know how Stefanski would be as a head coach, but that offense, that play-action game is great. And it's a very specific plan where it's Dalvin Cook and Kirk Cousins off of play-action. And Kirk Cousins is above average. Kirk Cousins is a really, really good player. I didn't mean to say he's average. I said Kirk Cousins is a top 10 quarterback in the National Football League. He's not elite. Like, he is not going to beat the Niners this week. It's going to be Niners and Chiefs. I know that's kind of a boring prediction at this point, but I actually think the Titans beat the Ravens. So it's going to be Kansas City, Tennessee. It'll be Seattle, Green Bay, or Seattle 49ers. And that'll be, I think Seattle's beating the Packers. Russell Wilson is just that good of a quarterback. Russell Wilson is a much better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson owns Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Russell Wilson is so much clutcher than Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson will overachieve, and Russell Wilson makes the most with the least amount of pieces. He's probably the best quarterback in the NFL right now, is Russell Wilson. And that isn't a hot take at all, but he's so much better than Aaron Rodgers. And I'm telling you guys that Seattle is my confident pick. It's Seattle, San Francisco. World War III in Santa Clara. And then the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry are going to run over the Baltimore Ravens. And the Kansas City Chiefs are then going to beat Tennessee to go to the title game. And the Niners will beat the Chiefs. I remember that game. That was a tight game. The Ravens have had an unbelievable season. And even if the Titans beat them, it won't take away from Lamar Jackson in this season. They're in a position to go to a Super Bowl championship. And that's how Russell Wilson is too. I mean, he's a living nightmare. I thought that Russell Wilson was gonna, if Russell Wilson and the Seahawks converted that goal line situation, the 49ers would probably not get back to a championship. The road would just be really, the whole playoffs would have changed. The whole NFL landscape changed on the Dre Greenlaw play. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for contributing, keeping me here extra. Appreciate you guys again. Have a great day, everybody. All right, take care.